Game week 8 is here in the Premier League season, everybody. The 2025-26 season has started with a bang. And yes, second international break is over. Game week 8, we have some massive games. We're going to look ahead to all of them. I'm going to give my predictions. And of course, as always, I will be back on Monday to see how right I am on this and if I've got any of these right. So get along in the live chat with me, everybody. Make sure you get your predictions in. Give me your thoughts on how you see these games going down. And let's get into all of these games, starting with the first one, of course, this weekend, which is the Ange Postecoglou sack game. Could we call it that? Is it time? Is Ange Postecoglou actually going to be sacked this weekend if he loses to, of course, Chelsea? So let's bring up the actual games itself now. Bear with me 1 second, everybody. Let's just switch across. Right, so we have got head-to-heads. We've got Chelsea's record against Nottingham Forest. Forest not looking good here with this one. The form, like you can see it on the information page right there on the side. Nottingham Forest, 1 draw in the last 5. The only point they've picked up this season, since Ange Postecoglou has arrived, it's not looking good for Ange. I do expect to be talking on Sunday, and I'm going to be honest with this. I expect to be talking about Ange Postecoglou being talked about being sacked. I'm going to be honest. I think it is there. When you look at it there, I mean, for instance, look, 17th in the league, -7 goal difference for Forest, 1 win all season. That came under Nuno. Nothing at all. The odds are saying 49% chance Chelsea win this game compared to 26 the draw and 26 the home win. I'm completely with that, and I don't see any world in where Chelsea don't at least get a point. But I'm going to be blunt here. I think this is going to be a big win for Chelsea. I'm going to go Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 3, and Ange Postecoglou is sacked. Get your comments in on that one as well, everybody. I'm going to bring up a few of these actually on the screen as well. So get into the live chats and give me your thoughts on this one. What are your score predictions, please, everybody, for Forest versus Chelsea? Get in there and let me know what you're thinking, everyone. I've gone with Forest 0, Chelsea 3, and my goal scorer in this one. And what I'll do, I'll put all of my score predictions in the comment section when the live is finished, so you can look back on them as well. And you can obviously get yours in as well. Full lineup of the scores and results, games and results in the comment section as well. I'm going to go for Enzo to score, Chelsea to win 3-0. That's if Enzo is fit, actually. Double check that one, make sure. But yeah, that's how I see it going down anyway. What are we saying, everybody? Indy says 1-1. Stu's copied me and gone 3-0 to Chelsea. There's a few people there confidently thinking Chelsea are going to actually get the win. It's a good way to start off the weekend, I think, as well. Definitely a good half 12 kickoff one anyway, especially with the pressure that's going to mount on the weekend if indeed Forest do get battered, like I think they will do. We'll see, won't we? There's a few more coming in. 2-2, that's confident. Chelsea will win. 2-2 again, says Tom as well on that one. Right, let's move it on to the next game. So, game 1 is in. Forest 0, Chelsea 3 for me is what I think. So, let's move on to the next fixture, which is Brighton at home to Newcastle. This is a tough one to call. I don't know what sort of Newcastle are going to turn up. Comfortable win last time out against Forest, who we've just been talking about, but away from home, Newcastle have always found it difficult. I mean, look at the form of both of them teams there. Let's just stop it on that page. The head-to-head alone is very, very tight. Not many goals in this fixture in previous meetings. Brighton 1, Newcastle 1. Last time out at home for Brighton. Newcastle have lost both games to Brighton at St James's Park, which is staggering. I think Brighton at home will feel comfortable in this one. But again, I actually think that this has got draw it all over it. I'm going to go adventurous 2-2 draw. Desmond 2-2. And I do think Danny Welbeck will score again. He always likes a goal against Newcastle. So Danny Welbeck to score, 2-2 draw. The odds on this one, Newcastle to lose the game, it's very, very even. It's hard to pick. And the draw shouts out. There's a 36% chance that Brighton win, 36% chance that Newcastle win, and 28% the draw. When you look at the form there as well, in the last 5 games, only 1 defeat for each side. A few draws in there, both very difficult to beat. It's got to draw it all over it for me, this one. What we saying in the chat, everybody? Brighton are going to beat them 2-1, says Glock. Brighton are winning. No, actually, Tomo's gone with a 3-2 win. And United Focus has gone Brighton 2, Newcastle 1 late on. So Danny Welbeck to score, 2-2 draw is my bet on this one. Let's move on to the next game. And Burnley versus Leeds. The 2 promoted sides. Look at the losses there straight away for Burnley. This could be, I reckon, Burnley have come in. They've been solid. They've had an okay start. But the league table, it tells you everything with Burnley. Now planted firmly in the bottom 3 as well. I don't see them getting any better chance of getting points against anyone apart from a fellow promoted side. But Leeds have got Burnley's number, it would seem, as well. And Burnley don't score many goals. That's the problem. 2 in their last 3 meetings, in fact. The game has got draw it all over it, but I actually, for some strange reason, and I cannot tell you why, I actually think Burnley are going to get something from this. I'm going to go Burnley 1-0 win. That's what I think anyway. I think Burnley 1-0 win. And I don't know. In terms of the actual player to score, I think it'll be something like an own goal. That is a big, big shout, by the way. I've got great odds on that. Burnley 1-0 win, own goal for Leeds. I don't know if I'm going to do any good with that one, but I tell you what, if I put this into an ACCA, I'd get fantastic odds. I might actually see what this actually works out at as my predictor for the weekend and let you all know on this one later on. I'll probably do it tomorrow, actually, let you know tomorrow. But yeah, that's my prediction for that one. Burnley to take it, and it's going to be an own goal. I'll get fantastic odds on that. I know I will. Right, on to the next game. What have we got next? Bear with me a second. Let's bring them up. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. I said that this was the hardest game to predict this weekend. And a lot of people have probably edged the Crystal Palace win simply because they're at home. But, I mean, you only have to look at the head-to-heads with these two to realise how tight this game actually is. There has been 1 goal in the last 3 games between Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. I don't know which one. It's telling me to just go 0-0 right now, looking at them scores. 1 defeat, though, in the last 5 games between both of these sides. These are 2 sides right up there. It's 4th against 6. Massive game this weekend for these 2. Where do I go with this? Honestly, it's a hard one to pick. I'm edging towards... I mean, Bournemouth's form is better, but anything's possible. Anything's possible. A Palace at home, I think I'm going to go... All right, here's my prediction. 1-0 Crystal Palace, and it's Mateta to score the goal. That's my Palace prediction. 43% on the odds for the win. I think that is just simply because it's at Sellers Park. It's the only thing I can think when it comes to the odds there. Manchester City against Everton is the next game. Again, I can't see Everton. Everton's record at City, I mean, was it 2-2 last time or something like that? I'll just wait for it to actually pop up on the screen right here. But Everton, no, it was 1-1 at the Etihad. So, yeah, Everton's record, not great. 68% chance to win for Man City. I would go along with that. I mean, good win for Everton last time out against Crystal Palace, but I'm going to go 3-1 Man City, and I think this is a safe bet as well. But I reckon Haaland to score, 3-1 Man City. Kind of bottled it a little bit there, didn't I? To be honest, in terms of my actual prediction and the goal scorer. But that's game number 5, 3-1 Man City. I just don't think Everton going to be able to hold out. And City at home at the moment are just going through the motions, I think. I think Pep's got his City side just in that sheer points accumulation mode. They're not playing fantastic, but I think at home they just end up just boosting their goal difference. And I think that's how they're going to do it again this weekend. They're going 3-1 Man City. Next game on the list is Sunderland against Wolves. And yet again, a difficult one to predict. Both sides in different form at the moment. Wolves starting to pick up a little bit. And Sunderland, that defeat to Manchester United, without really laying a glove on Manchester United. You can see there, Wolves unbeaten in the last 2. They'll feel a little bit disappointed that they didn't get anything from them games, with late equalisers in both of them against Brighton and Tottenham. But Sunderland have had a good start. Obviously, tucked comfortably in the top 10 in 9th position. Wolves win would bring them out of the bottom. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. It's shouting out draw again to me, because Wolves have actually started to turn up a little bit. But, it's hard to pick. All right, I'm going to go. Here's my prediction on this one. Because it's at Sunderland, I'm going to go Sunderland 2, Wolves 2. And Strand Larsen to score for Wolves. 38% home win. Draw 31%. Away win 31%. You can see the bookies are also struggling to split these two. Is the table, does it lie a little bit? Maybe Wolves are just starting to come into form, and they should be a bit further up if they didn't concede them late goals. But I still feel like there's a chance in this one. I'm going to go to 2-2 draw again. That's my second 2-2 of the weekend. Right, moving into the late kickoff this weekend on Saturday, which is the Fulham versus Arsenal game. Now, Fulham at home are decent, but this has got a 61% chance that Arsenal win. Fulham's form, though, lost the last 2. 2 wins, 2 losses in the last 4 games for Fulham. Arsenal, obviously, the form team in the Premier League at the moment. I do think Arsenal will get the. I think Arsenal will get the win. I do think that they will scrape it, and they'll find a way to beat Fulham. Again, look, I'm not taking Fulham out of this, but I just think Arsenal are probably going to be too good. I'm going to go Arsenal to win 2-1. It's going to be close, but I think Arsenal will take it. And I reckon we're going to get a goal from Saka. After his England's exploits against Wales, I think Saka to score. Arsenal 2-1 win. What are you saying in the chat, everybody, on the Arsenal one? Tom has gone 8-2. Fulham 6-1. I think there's a few people trying to wind up a certain Arsenal fan in the live chat at the moment. Tom has gone more realistic, I think, with a 3-0 Arsenal win. Obviously, Glock has backed his boys and gone a 7-0 Arsenal win. That's not happening. Angry Beaver's gone with a 0-2 to Arsenal. Look, I think the odds tell you everything there. Form-wise, Fulham have beaten Arsenal. Their record at home against Arsenal is decent. I just think Arsenal will sneak it this time. I mean, looking at the heads-to-heads there, Arsenal have only beaten Fulham at home in the last 2 seasons. They haven't won away from home. They've lost both on both occasions. So, tight game, but I think Arsenal will just about come out on top. Into the Sunday fixtures, and these are definitely going to be difficult ones to call. Obviously, first of all, at 2 o'clock on Sunday, you've got Tottenham versus Aston Villa. Now, Villa back in form. Spurs obviously in form themselves as well. So, is this going to be a simple case of home team wins it? I actually think that this has got draw it all over it, and I have to go with the actual draw on this one. I think Aston Villa have turned the corner under Emery. I think it's 4 in a row, is it now? that they've managed to win in all competitions. Turn it around, moving up the table as well. I'm going to go 1-1 in this one. And my goal scorer for this game, I'm going to go with Spurs' goal scorer. And I think it will be, Xavi Simons. I think Simons will score. And that's my bet in the Spurs versus Aston Villa game. Again, it is difficult because both of these teams are in okay form right now. When you look at it, it's actually form-wise, it's close to call. But Aston Villa's are definitely better than Spurs is at the moment, I would say. Spurs have just dropped off a tiny little bit. Still not bad, though. That's why it's difficult. I've got to go with the 1-1. I don't think it's going to be easy for anyone to actually pick a scoreline in that Villa game. But, yeah. I'm stuck with it. Yeah, but stick with 1-1. 1-1. Simmons will score 1-1. That's what we're saying. On to the big one, of course. More on this later on FUTV. But Liverpool versus Manchester United. Don't want to go into too much detail on this one. I don't want to jinx it. Don't want to start getting into the worries and the concerns as a Man United fan. But obviously, as you can see on your screen there, in terms of the head-to-heads, it's not looking good for Manchester United. We haven't beaten Liverpool for a while. At Anfield, our record is not good, although we did get the point there last season. 20% chance that United actually get the win against Liverpool at Anfield. I think people are being a bit too heavy on Manchester United. I mean, look, United haven't won in any of the last 3, as you can see on the screen there, but we have managed to score goals against Liverpool, so that's a thing. I'm going to save my prediction for this one. No, in fact, I'll tell you what I think it's going to be. I think it will be 1-1. That is my prediction. And I know a lot of people will be thinking, wishful thinking there, Adam. I think it will be 1-1. I think Bruno will score Man United's goal. That just for the sake of football talks in this video, I think that's where it's going. And more on what I think will happen, team lineups and things like that coming later on Forever United TV, everybody. So stay tuned for that later on. But yeah, this one is probably the biggest game of the weekend. It's one of the biggest games in world football, so definitely think that it is. Right, on to the last game of the weekend, and that is your Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football is back, and it is the exciting game, which is West Ham versus Brentford. Not really. I was joking a little bit there, but I think this is Nuno's first win. I do think West Ham get the win here. I'm going to go 2-1. I think we get off the mark, and Nuno will get the win. Like Brentford are no mugs, but I think West Ham need the win, and I think it's Nuno's first. So, yeah, I'm going to go with... Let's just say who am I going with. Right. Gerard Bowen to score, and West Ham to win 2-1. What are we saying, everybody? Give me your thoughts on that one quickly. But, look... I think going through all of these scores again, let's just round things up so everybody can give me their thoughts. So these are my predictions for the 10 games this weekend. Here we go. Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 3, Enzo to score for Chelsea. Brighton 2, Newcastle 2, Welbeck to score for Brighton. Always likes a goal against Newcastle. Burnley 1, Leeds 0, own goal. That is a big shout. Can't wait to see what the odds are on that one. Palace 1, Bournemouth 0, Mateta to score. Manchester City 3, Everton 1, Haaland to score. Sunderland 2, Wolves 2. Strand Larsen to score for Wolves in that one. Fulham 1, Arsenal 2, Saka for Arsenal. Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 1. Xavi Simons as goal scorer for Tottenham. Liverpool 1, Man United 1, Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United. And West Ham 2, Brentford 1, Gerard Bowen for West Ham in that one. That, everybody, is your score predictions show and your look ahead to the weekend here on Football Talks. Make sure you stay tuned and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, everybody, if you haven't already, for more Premier League action this weekend. We'll bring you up to date with everything that's going on around the country. And make sure that you have that bell notification to be notified when the next piece of content is coming out as well. Could be a watch along, could be a special live show. Just make sure that you have the subscribe button as well, everybody. And I will be back later on Football Talks and obviously FUTV also. Thanks everybody. Get your predictions in. I'll pop mine into the comment section and pin it there for everybody so you know I'm not getting away with it. And I'll see you all later on. Have a fantastic day, everybody.